Well, how do we go about recruiting these guys, right? How do we get them onto our team? So I want to make sure that going into these tactics, you have a clear strategy for how you're going to leverage them. And I've broken our strategy section into kind of two key areas, two key strategies I want you to be aware of. The first is what I call the short-term strategy. And this is your low-hanging fruit. Your low-hanging fruit. You see, it's great to have people want to come work for you, but in the meantime, what you've got to do is you've got to be able to go out and cherry pick the people who are ripe for working for your company, your brand, your business. Those are the easiest ones to get, the low-hanging fruit. And to kind of show you what that low-hanging fruit looks like, there was a study that was done by a real estate company and a research organization. They partnered together and they wanted to survey millennials who were not in the real estate industry, and they wanted to ask them, they only asked them one real key question. They said, are you interested in learning about working in the real estate industry? That was it. Are you interested in learning about working in the real estate industry? One question. And here's what they found. The people who said yes to this shared certain key traits. They had certain key things about them that made them much more likely to be interested in learning about working in the real estate industry. The first, if they had knowledge of the industry. Knowledge of the industry. And what they found is that if somebody had knowledge of the industry, 58% of them were interested in learning about working in the real estate industry. Compare that with only 17 who had no knowledge of the real estate industry. So what you're looking for in that low-hanging fruit is somebody who has some working knowledge of the industry. And we're going to talk about how to capitalize on that in just a little bit. But that's one of the key characteristics. And here's what I'd actually encourage you to do. As we're going through these, think about people you may know. Think about people who may match these criteria and write their names down. Because these are the first people you ought to be contacting when you leave here and when you start getting back into the office and going, okay, who's the low-hanging fruit? Who are the people that I need to start bringing into my office? People with knowledge of the industry. Who do I know? Second thing is they found that people who work on commission, of those who work on commission, 70%, you guys, were interested in learning more about the real estate industry and working in the real estate industry. Only 17% if they didn't work on commission. Vast difference. Why? Because working on commission is very different than working for a salary. Right? Would you all agree with that? That when you work on commission, you have to be comfortable with, if I don't kill it, I don't eat. Right? If I don't sell, I don't put food on the table. And it takes a special type of person who's willing to go out, kill something, drag it home, cook it up, and make meals for the family. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody's capable of doing that, but somebody who's already working on commission, they're used to that lifestyle. And so they want to know, can I make more money in real estate? For a lot of them, it's, yeah, absolutely. You can be far more successful in real estate working on commission than a lot of other industries because there's no cap. There's no cap to what you're able to make. So you want to look for people who work on commission. Third thing is they asked them, do you know an agent your age? And if they knew an agent their age, 66% of them were interested in learning more about working in the real estate industry, compared to only 35% if they didn't know an agent their age. So you want to look for people, you want to leverage the relationships that people have because you want agents to start recruiting their friends. And you want to start targeting people who know agents that are in their age range because that's going to make them much more likely to be interested in working for you and for the real estate industry. So those are the three key characteristics I want you to be aware of. Three key characteristics that when you're looking at people, when you're evaluating, where's my low-hanging fruit? If they match any of those three criteria, they don't have to have all three. The more they have, the better. But if they only have one, they're prime for you starting that dialogue, starting that conversation and figuring out how do I integrate them, how do I recruit them into what it is that I'm doing.